Every common piece of health advice I read in the news or see on social media is don't stress. But how do you not stress when the world is falling apart? Well, an expert might say don't stress about things you have no control over. But how do you know you have no control over something until you attempt to exert control? Don't you think the Russians and the Allies and the United States were stressed about Hitler taking over the world? Enough to do something, enough to fight back, and eventually defeat him? They could have said, oh, there's nothing we can do. It's too stressful. Hitler's going to take over the world and we will all live as Nazis and accept our fate. Instead, they said, fuck no. Let's kick this motherfucker's ass. Let's back him into a bunker until he kills himself and we win. Now, did we win? That's a question for another video. With all the Nazis who were brought into this country and the neo-Nazis who are here now, many in positions of power, you could argue we didn't win. But you get my point. A lot of bad things have happened in the world, but some good things have happened too. And some of those good things were fighting back against the bad things and defeating the bad things. And they weren't easy and they weren't perfect. Like, even though we know now Lincoln didn't really care, slavery, that form of slavery is over. The Confederates didn't win. We didn't know how many people still wanted slavery and schemed and connived to bring slavery back in more insidious and subtle forms, like putting black men in prison and having them do free labor, or keeping black people oppressed and suppressed and repressed in the society, ensuring they couldn't succeed on equal footing with the white overlords who passed laws to make sure they would never be equal. And now today, you have Trump trying to whitewash our history, a history already built on lies, a history already whitewashed. How whitewashed can it get before it disappears? By taking whatever references to slavery have survived out of that history and focusing on the heroism of the slave master and the Confederate soldiers who would have turned this country into one big plantation if they had half a chance? Or Trump, possibly the worst human on earth today, certainly top 3, sending unmasked, unidentified thugs, and make no mistake, masked, unidentified men with weapons are not soldiers or police. They are cowardly thugs into our sovereign American cities to intimidate and harass and arrest the good people of those cities who are already struggling to get by instead of helping those people. He wants the Nobel Prize, but changes the name of the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And Netanyahu, that genocidal maniac, nominates him? I'm getting stressed out. Make America Great is about going backwards to a white supremacist vision of a country that commits genocide on the indigenous populations, re-enslaves the black people, and arrests and deports everybody else, including those that simply don't agree with him, until what you're left with is a country of ignorant, uneducated white racists. And when there's no one left, they'll turn on themselves. History will go on, but not with America. America will be in the history books, not like the dinosaurs, who were here for 165 million years, or the Neanderthals, who existed for 350,000 years, or the Roman Empire, which lasted 1,500 years, or the Egyptian Empire, which lasted 3,000 years, but as a momentary blip, a sneeze, a fart on world history. Unless we stress a bit and figure out how to get the military and the police and the hypnotized and brainwashed to see that they too will be victims and help us remove Trump and Vance and Hegseth and Miller and the rest of these moronic losers from power, that might be worth the stress. Then we could take a deep breath and start stressing about something else.